done now. You see the camera in the background is I bought that last week, and it's great because I can just set it up and do stuff with it. So, what you guys been up to? Did you have a good Black Friday? Gotta say, life has been fantastic for me. I mean, it's now what, Wednesday, Thursday. I made loads of orders last week. Because I'm traveling around and stuff like that. I have to have stuff sent to certain places, and one of the things I bought that I collected today, I'm not going to show you the whole lot, but was the Citadel, was it Skull set? And let me just move to this one. What I got for me money was 3 boxes of these, each box containing 6. Well, it seems to be moving slow, doesn't it? So I'm going to be doing some videos on these at some point. And there's the other box. So 3 boxes, huge box. I have opened one and had a little look. Obviously you got to, but I've got 2 sealed boxes, so I'll do the unboxing and stuff like that. And that came with a Corn Lord on Juggernaut, and I've not opened it yet, but I've had a little sneaky look, and gotta say it's pretty good. I like it. Detail looks good. I mean, that if you bought all of those separately, it's just, I just love so much about it. See if I can just flick over to the let's have a look. Games Workshop. Corn on Juggernaut. Like you saw, that's 30 quid. And I think it's a beautiful piece. It's just fantastic. And then you get 3 boxes of Mighty Skull Crushers. I mean, that's 180 quid, £210. It cost me 170 pound. And I gotta say, they just look fantastic. And the wall scrolls are just, to me, it's a perfect cavalry unit. I mean, basically, you've got it's this ability here, Murderous Charge. I mean, if you look at the rest of the war scroll, they're normal rock hard troops. But to me, a good cavalry unit is like average, for what it is, it does the job. And then there should be some good bonus on a charge. And this one, I mean, when you complete the charge move, you roll a dice for each enemy within 1 inch. On a roll of 4 or more, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. That's perfect as far as I'm concerned, because that to me is as it should be. Dangerous on the charge. So that's what I bought from Games Workshop. I also bought. Now this is, you can't really see the box because it's the packaging. I notice is quite toned down, but this is a Karanak. This is my friend Ella's sort of bought me this. She wanted to buy me a gift, and I said to, she said, "What do you want? What do you want?" And I said, "The trouble is, I don't want anything. I buy what I want." And in the end, I kind of settled on this. It's 15 quid. It's not too much to ask someone to spend on you. And then I ended up saying to her, rather than you buy it, I'll buy it for myself, and I'll call it from you. And then you buy yourself a Christmas present and call it from me. So I've ordered that, and I'll probably have to switch cameras here, because I'd spent £100 on that skull thing. So Stampede, I got this free bag, and it stinks. Oh, it's absolutely reeky. The combination of the material and the print, it's stinky. But I've got something you can't get anymore. And the other thing I got, and I'll show you this, I'll change the view again. I saw it, it's hard, you can't stumble across it. I bought the Citadel Annual 2014. And what it is a collection of the models that they've released, and it's all done month by month. And you know, 90% of the book doesn't apply to me because I don't play 40k and um, I only play Chaos. So, and there isn't an awful lot. In fact, out of the Chaos that was released, none of it is really useful for me. But I mean, here's one I know a lot of people go mad for this, but the Glotkin, and there's some beautiful pictures in here. So obviously, it's, you know, having a look at the painting techniques and things. It's just a shame that not much, but it's. I mean, here's one I do like. I might actually. I'm thinking about buying this one day. Tree Man. I think it's a beautiful model. It's a wonderful book. What I pay 30 quid for, again, I really don't know. But one thing it has got, I wish they'd do this every year. I ran Games Workshop the other day, and you know, sometimes you learn to read between the lines. And I asked them about this, and they said they don't know anything about. They don't know if it, you know, about anything about a future release. But if you imagine, this is like the old catalogues they used to do. This is just new releases only. If they did one of these every year, you know, you'd have them on the shelf, and then you could see which models are older, which ones you want to look at buying. And that's it for the received. Let's see, what else did I buy? I bought some models. I've never used this company before, but the models look fantastic. And I just actually I made two. Oh god, what have I done there? So this is one that I bought, and I thought he'd make a good Chaos Standard Bearer. Sorry, it's my. There we go. Yeah, I thought he'd make a good Standard Bearer. Do you know what? I'm really sorry. I don't know how to click back on this. Never mind. Sorry, I'm not good for this. Choose.com. There we go. So yeah, so I got that. I got this. I thought would make maybe a good Chaos Lord or something like that. Maybe a Deathbringer or something. She's quite nice. Because I'm trying to build as female army as possible. So obviously good females I'm looking for. And these are quite expensive, but I thought they would make really good Chaos hands. I mean, they were £28.49. I got about 25% off because of Black Friday, but even so, it's still quite expensive. Now, these next two that I bought, the reason I bought them is they do two versions of the same thing, one on foot, one on demonic steed, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm always looking to create a character. This is another one. He's quite nice. Same thing, but two different versions. And I'm always looking to create a character that can be flexible. In the old days, it was quite simple. You used to buy a lord twice, paint one on foot, cut him off at the waist and stick some Chaos Knights legs on him, and then stick him on a horse. Because they're adding so much detail these days, you can't really do that. So to have a good model that you've got a horse and its foot version is brilliant. And then lastly for Black Friday, I bought the Beastman. Now, Element Games, they didn't do any money off, but what they did is when you buy buy anything, you get crystals, and you get like a crystal for every pound you spend or something like that. But as you can see, they're 20% off Games Workshop prices anyway, and then obviously you're going to get some crystals back. And what they were offering was triple crystals, and this is the first thing I bought. Now this particular one wasn't due in stock until tomorrow. So what I put on the order, rather than having one half dispatched straight away and one half dispatched on the 4th of December, I just put the instruction, hold the whole order until everything's in. I'm not in a rush for it, but this has got 20 gore, 10 Vestigore, 10 Angor. Obviously I'm going to have to start buying some round bases, which is going to cost me a bit. But these actually, they do. Well, I got chance. I'm sorry, when I press the 3 key on my main keyboard, it goes small. These guys, they do some 30mm bases. Plastic bases. I'm sure there we go, 30mm bases for £2.15. They are a little bit smaller obviously than the Games Workshop ones, and they are beveled, but at that price can you really complain? So anyway, the other thing I got, and I was quite impressed with the price. The reason I bought this is this was Games Workshop had done for Black Friday, they'd done like a Skaven deal, and this is pretty much identical, except that one of these, I can't remember which one it is, but one of these war machines you only get one of, but you get like the rat ogres and stuff with it free. And what Element Games do is they do a lot of army bundles where they bundle together lots of figures, and they used to do this when it was 8th edition. And basically what it is, it's a complete army ready for a 2,400 point tournament, and you usually get about 2,100 2,200 points, maybe a little bit more, depends on the army. And then that just means you could start with nothing, you could buy it, and bang, you've got an army. And what this consists of is the Skaven Army Battalion with two boxes of Storm Vermin, a Screaming Bell. Well, I'm going to use it, the Screaming Bell, a Doom Wheel, a Hell Pit Abomination, and a Warp Lightning Cannon. And I like it because it's a chance for me to get some war machines going. The only thing is, you've got in the battalion set, you have Plague Monks. Now, Plague Monks aren't part of the Skaven, they're part of the Pestilence, which I don't do. I use Khorne, so obviously the Pestilence, they're more Nurgle, so I'm not using it. The last thing I bought, and I didn't buy these came recommended by a friend of mine, Jason, and I bought a load of paintbrushes. I can't remember. I'm doing a search on triangular because I remember they were triangular bases. Triangular. There we are. I knew as soon as I saw them, I'd see them. Now I've always been a fan of triangular brushes because I find them easier to hold. And I also got some. I got some. I think they're hog hair. The reason I got hog hair is they're quite cheap brushes. One of the issues I have with the new Games Workshop brushes is the size of the small dry brush. I'd like a smaller one. There we go, Series HC30. Series. I don't know if they're any good. I've never used them. Um, there we go. And these are quite small. They're quite cheap. I mean, look, I can get an O size brush. An O size brush is 2.6 mil. I can't remember the exact sizes I ordered, but they're they're a nice shaped dry brush. Where they're basically as close as I could find to the old dry brushes. Being hog, obviously they're a little bit harder wearing. So sorry, you caught me smoking now. So right, onto my painting table. What I'm doing is I really need to get myself in order. I keep getting put off. So what I've done, I mean, I've already arranged my my army into various battalions based on the Corn Bloodbound book, and what I've got is, oh, let me find. This is going to be hopefully be my centerpiece. You might have seen me doing loads of pictures on the internet. This is the base I finally finished, and I'm really happy with that base. You'll see a little hole drilled in there. This is going to be my Mighty Lord of Corn, and I'm desperate to get this finished because that piece there is so fragile. It keeps bending, and I keep having to repaint it. And the more times I put it in and out of the cork, every now and again I get a slight bend. But once I get her done, I can then glue her into place, and I've done it so that she's actually standing on the rock, and then the part of the cloak is actually touching the rock. It's meant to look like she's jumping, but of course it's going to give me 2 points of contact which I can glue, and then she's going to have a chain which is going from, I don't know if you can see on her hand. I've cut the sword off and there's a hole going through the middle. I'm going to attach a chain to that, and that's going to go through the head of, around the head of this. Now this is a Reaver Chimera, and I'm really disappointed with it. So I've cut the wings off and I'm painting it up as best I can. I mean, look, it's rubber. So I've called it Chimera Run. It's a three-headed beast, and he's gonna go there. I keep carefully placing him. I do have the spot, but it's kind of, you have to remember where it is. Yeah, basically he's gonna go on like that, and then obviously the chain will run from her. There you go, something like that. Obviously it'll get glued down, and basically the way I'm seeing the Mighty Lord of Corn is a Chaosy Lord. Obviously there's not much corn symbols on there, but the Mighty Lord of Corn is basically a humanoid figure with an animal, and I'll use the war scrolls for Mighty Lord of Corn. But the biggest challenge for me was the base, keeping everything on the base. I don't like things hanging off the base too much. There's a little bit of an overhang there, but that's not really a major issue. So some of you will know about this. I've been posting on Facebook. We've got the original Mighty Lord of Corn base. Then underneath that we've got cork, which has been painted up to simulate Earth. Then we've got the Games Workshop basing kit, which I've had to trim to sort of, these were all square at one point, which I've painted up to make it look like sort of ruins. And then the ruins stop, so maybe people pull the stones up. Now these stones, I've not painted these stones. I actually saw these in a plant pot at Wetherspoons in Portsmouth. So if you're the manager of the Wetherspoons in Portsmouth, I apologise, I've stolen 3 of your slates, but at least you know I've put them to good use. So obviously that's going to be my leader. The next, and I'm a few months behind, I've got my gore chosen, which is going, so just bear with me. I've actually got a spreadsheet which lists everything I've got. I've got a gore chosen that consists of an Exalted Deathbringer, which is this chappy here. So it's hard. When I bring the screen up, I can't see. So that's my Exalted Deathbringer. And that's just going to be painted normal, the way it was done on by Duncan. I've then got a Slaughter Priest, which is... I can't see the screen at the moment, so if you can't see him, I apologise. You've got another Exalted Deathbringer, which is this fine chappy. You've then got Scar Bloodwrath, which I'm going to use as an aspiring Deathbringer. And the reason I've got Scar as my aspiring is because one of the battalions consists only of Wrathmongers, so obviously Scar's kind of like that. I've then got a Skull Grinder, which I've not bought him yet. He's still on my wish list. And what I'm thinking of doing is, this is just a Bloodstoker, and I'm wondering if maybe I could remove his whip, make an anvil out of green stuff, and then just get a chain and actually make a Skull Grinder. But then I do want to buy the Skull Grinder anyway. The problem I'm having is I don't actually want to make two identical models, which is going to be a bit of a challenge because I've got two Bloodstokers in my army. I'll need to make them different. I'm also doing a Blood Secretor. This one's not so difficult because I'm gonna make him up, but I'm not gonna put his little ponytail thing on, and I'm not gonna put the collar. Is that collar of corn? So I'm not gonna put that on. And what I'm also thinking about doing is this is a little play on an idea I'd seen from Basingstoke. What he's actually done with his Blood Secretor is that he's actually cut. He obviously didn't like the position. I'm trying to put this on as best I can. That's the position of all that. So obviously that's at an angle. He's actually cut that off at the top and then stuck it on. So rather than being in that position, the standard is actually in that position, and I quite like that. But I want obviously the model to look different. So the idea I'm playing with is I'm going to cut the whole banner off there, and then I'm going to just cut the corn symbol out of the middle, and I'm going to mount that corn symbol just on the stick, so we lose all the spiky bits. And the reason being is I want it. This guy here, he's going to be part of a battalion, whereas my other Blood Secretor is actually going to be part of the Gore Chosen. So he is the standard bearer for the whole Khorne army. So his banner is going to be grander than the rest. Then we've got we've got the Blood Secretor. So I actually need 3 of these in total, and then I need two of these, and then I need another Slaughter Priest. So I'm actually working on. I've done a conversion with Valkyr the Bloody. But what the great thing is about this, I've extended the whole battalion thing. You're supposed to have 8 of them, and then so what I've done with that is that each of the 8 actually commands a battalion. But the last one, Valkyr, the Slaughter Priest, she's actually going to command the non-Khorne armies. So she's going to have under her, she's going to have. Bear with me. I'll actually put it up. 8, 0. So she's going to have a Lord of Khorne on Juggernaut, who's obviously going to command the Brass Stampede. I've shown you the boxes just now. Then you're going to have a Chaos Lord, and he's going to command all of the Chaos Warriors. He may split down further, I don't know. A new addition, which because Archeon came out last week, so you're going to have Archeon is part of her battalion, which is a bit of a funny one because he's got someone he's responsible to, who, and she's responsible to someone. Is that the way Archeon would work? I've not read all of his fluff properly, but I'm thinking he could be there to assist rather than actually be leader of the army. So I think that'll work. I then got a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, which I call my source, because Khorne obviously doesn't like magic. I'm calling her a sorcerer, and under her will be all of the summonable demons. And then next you've got the Chaos. We've got two actually. We've got Chaos Dwarfs. And then all of the models that I can get, all of those from Forge World, except for the Chaos Siege Giant. So the Chaos Siege Giant is actually going to be a conversion. And then next you've got a Beast Lord, which is going to control all of the Beastman army. And then below that is a Skaven. So what am I working on at the moment? Well, unfortunately, part of this army, I've actually not done an awful lot. I've been doing lots of buying, but not really an awful lot of completing. So obviously you've got this little lady, she's on her own, Mighty Lord of Khorne. Then October's target was a Goreblade Warband, and of that I finished a Blood Secret, 5 Blood Warriors, and a Korgoroth. Oh, forgot, where a battalion doesn't have 8 units, what I've actually done is I've made up extra units to make it into 8, so I call it reserve units. So the Goreblade Warband has a Blood Secret, a Bloodstoker, Blood Warriors, Blood Reavers, Korgoroths, and then I've got a reserve unit of Blood Warriors, Blood Reavers, and 2 more Korgoroths. So what that will enable me to do is, obviously I'll paint all the units up in the same style. So what I could do, so for example, I've got 5 Blood Warriors, and then the reserve unit will have 5 Blood Warriors. So what that would enable me to do is I could then field a unit of 10 of them. So I'm not really focusing on the reserves just yet. So from that, what I've got left to complete is the Exalted Deathbringer, which is here. A Bloodstoker, which is this one, and the Blood Reavers. Now the Blood Reavers, I tried to do 20 of them, and I think this is what's holding me back. I was chatting to somebody. Obviously we do batch painting in 5s or 10s, and I've tried to do 20. So what I've actually done is I've put 12 of them to one side. Let me just pull this up. So I don't know if you can see here where my hand is now. There's 8 of them there, and I've got the leader, the standard, and the hornblower, and his. For those of you who've done the Age of Sigmar starter box, you'll know that the main body and legs they make up either a normal one or the command. So I've got his opposite, and then I've got 2 more, and the reason I've done 8 is that'll leave me 12, and then I'll do 6, and then I'll do 6. It is a bit dangerous because where I'm now falling behind, I'm still targeting extra battalions to try and catch up, and some of those include more Blood Reavers. So to bring the target right up to December, sorry, bear with me, I'm just selecting them on the yeah, so we've now got three battalions. So the state of play that I'm at is I've got 57 models to finish. So I've got the Mighty Lord of Khorne, off the ones I've just been through: Exalted Deathbringer, Bloodstoke, Blood Reavers. Then I've got the Slaughter Priest, he's been assembled, but he's not base primed yet. Another Bloodstoker, which you see is in pieces. More Blood Reavers, which at the moment are sealed in the box. Obviously, they need to go to one side until I finish these 20. An Exalted Deathbringer, which is this chappy there. Another Blood Secretor. Sorry, yeah, this Blood Secretor, which is the one that I'm working on, because he's not the main battle standard bearer. And then I need the Wrathmongers, which will go with Scar, I think. So yeah, that's my target for the next month. Now I know I'm not going to finish all of that, but if I can finish all of my Mighty Lord and Battalion Number 1, the Goreblade Warband, and then get some of the Dark Feast done, then obviously January's target is so let me just pull it all up now. I still need to buy some. Yeah, they're Wrathmongers. So I'm going to have to finish off Scar and do some Wrathmongers, and that's 3 boxes of them. It's 3 units of 5. That's going to be a tricky one, but obviously it's only 16 models in the month. So I'm hoping that if I can get a big dint done, and then obviously next month there'll be more added. But if I can finish more than 16 models this month, then obviously I'll add 16 next month. But the saying that, what you see on this little thing here, this is 3 months worth of target painting. Let me just pull them all up again. Actually, that's wrong. That is wrong. I've got 64 to do. But most of those are Blood Reavers, so I think Blood Reavers for quite a while now are going to be a side project. Let me see how many Blood Reavers I need. Yeah, I've got 50 Blood Reavers to do. So if you take the Blood Reavers out of the equation, that's 14 models I've got. And some of those are I've assembled these today. So of those 14, 5 of them are Blood Warriors, and I'm going to do the ones I had before. I tried to do the actual official Warhammer TV video, so I've done them in corn red and bronze. These ones I'm actually going to do either black and silver or black and bronze. I downloaded something today. I'm going to have to find it because I don't want to give you misinformation. Where's it? Playbooks. Yeah, I've been doing that Advent thing. There we go. That's, I don't know, can you see that? That's the colour scheme I'm going to try and use. This is the colour scheme I used for the first lot, which is like their main one. But yeah, this is the what I'm going to go for these ones. I'm not a big fan of silver, but I am a big fan of making units look different. So guys, that's pretty much my update. I did want to do a bit of painting today, but I'm going to be fair to you. It's 11:15, and obviously I am working. I'm showing off my mug of the day. So yeah, but the main thing now is that I've got a clear plan of action. I've got a hell of a lot. Oh, another thing I want to discuss. I have today bought. I'm trying to find the catalogue. Right, there we go. Right, I bought KR case, and the one I bought was the Kaiser 4. I don't know. I don't think they've got the picture in here. There we go. Right, we've got the Kaiser range there. and I like them. I got the Kaiser 4. You see, you get 4 boxes in there, and each box, there we go, each box will hold up to 4 rows of troops. Now, I've been doing a lot of research on this. I've been working out what goes where. I've been printing things off from their website, and I've actually done some calculations. And not only is this essentially this is very similar to the old style. I've lost my figures. I thought I had them then. Very similar to the old style of the Games Workshop case, where you used to just have little slots. There we go. Look at that one, for example. That's probably not a good one to look at. But yeah, basically you can see that you've got each one is cut evenly, and you've got different styles of cuts. And they do. I rang up about this. They do one called pluck and something or another. It's called, and basically what you get is you get a tray with lines that have been cut in them. You can't really see the lines, but and then what you do is you just pull out all of the segments that you actually want, and I think that's absolutely brilliant, because it means you can then tailor make your cases. But I did some working out, and for the price, Games Workshop do this Crusade case, and I have got one. Sorry, my bedroom's very small. I've got this is the I don't really want to put it on the table, but yeah, this is the Crusade case. This cost me £75, although admittedly I did get 20% off because I bought it from Element Games. And obviously you're aware of the system. You've got trays in there, and you know I've got paints in this particular top one, but you can fit so many in there, and you know you're not going to fill every tray up, because obviously it pushes the foam out as you go. But I worked out, using 32mm and 25mm figures, how many you could get in a case. And a Kaiser 4 case, they do 2 kinds of foam. One is custom and one is core. Core is basically the ones that they've decided you can buy them, and custom ones are obviously they're custom made, and they do a good corn one, and it's designed to fit the Age of Sigmar. And if you buy just the core sets, the Kaiser 4 will cost £140, which is a lot of money, I'll admit. But you think that 2 Crusade cases cost £150, and you can actually get, if you're using just something like that, that's going to go on a 32mm base. Obviously Khorne doesn't have anything on 25mm base, but I think you can get something like 50 more figures in a KR case than you can in Games Workshop. And the beauty with the KR cases is that each figure will actually be covered on 6 sides, whereas with the Games Workshop, great little case admittedly, but obviously you're going to stack them all in, and you're going to get them in as close as you can, and models will be overlapping, or you have to space them out and get less figures in. So KR case actually works out a cheaper option. There is one thing to look out for though. I worked all of my trays out. Now, the Khorne Bloodbound set of you can't say how many trays you're going to get in, because they do different depths. I don't know if you can see that, but you have like this one here. This is a M4T. Now the 4 means that it's 23 millimeters in depth, so you can get 4 of those in one tray. This one, the F3T, that's 32 millimeter depth, so you can get 3 of them in. So, but you can't obviously put a 32 mil base in a 4, because that's only 23. So I've worked out what trays I want. Now, if you buy the Kaiser with the coarse trays in, it's £140. If you buy it with the custom trays in, it's £170. And I'd actually put one layer of corn, and just because of that one tray that was in there, it was an extra 40 quid. Well, the corn, I didn't think, and I just said, right, we'll take it out, we'll put something different in, which brought the price back down to 140 quid. But they do free postage on, I think you've got to spend, can't remember it. Oh, go. You get free postage if you spend over £55. Well, obviously buying the Kaiser case, I've already spent that £55. So what I should really have done was order the case with less trays in it, and then order the corn set for a tenner, so to save myself 30 quid, and I would have got the trays I wanted. However, what I did was I put in, I've made a kind of, a lot of the trays that I bought, they're kind of generic. I don't know what's going to fit properly yet. I think I do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Games Workshop Crusader case as a holding case. So anything I'm painting at the moment will go in the Crusader case. And then I'm going to work out what KR trays that are needed once they're finished. And then, because I anticipate with the army I'm planning, I'm going to need 4 cases. So I'll then actually order exactly what I need. But yeah, I mean, the case looks fantastic. Once I get it, we think it's going to come Monday, probably Tuesday. So once that comes, I'll do an online review of it. I'll do an online review of the Rosemary and Co brushes. Thank you to Jason Pryor. So I've got hiccups now. Thank you to Jason Pryor for recommending them to me. I don't really know where I stand with brushes. I like the Games Workshop brushes. I really do. But they are quite pricey, so I thought if I can get something of equal value for cheaper, that's got to be worth trying. And you know, like I say, there is one brush that they did which they don't do anymore, and I really miss that brush. I do like the old style Games Workshop dry brush, and I think a lot of people agree with me. It's just the width of it, it's just a little bit smaller. These people who do tanks and things, I know they won't notice it, but people who do small, I mean, like, I'm buying clan rats, and you know, I might be doing some dry brushing with them. Sorry, I'm getting the brush out so I can show you what I mean, rather than but you know, if you're doing fine dry brushing on clan rats, you know what, I can't find it. There we go. And that's the smallest brush I've got for dry brushing. Small dry brush. Yeah, you can use it sideways if you want, but you know, this is see if I can find it. We can do a side-by-side comparison. Sorry, bear with me. I've got so much in there. There we go. Seeing the old colour system that I used to use. So yeah, this is This is the old. Ooh, chuck my brush to the right. This is the old. Let's see if I can get some focus in. So this is the old small dry brush, and this is the new small dry brush. And you see there's a big difference. Yeah, again, if you move it on its side, yeah, it's not a lot of difference. But you know, I do like my rounded brushes. So yeah, the Mears miniatures. All of my miniatures that I buy from now on, I'm actually putting together step-by-step painting guides. And of course I'm working on the beginner's guide. So yeah, I'll continue with the Pennysode guides, but obviously things like I mean this for example, I'll do step-by-step guides on him. And then I'll put out some nice update videos. Each stage that I reach, I do take photos, and I try and take 3 photos of each stage so I can get front, back, side. And then obviously these, I've left it too late now to do step-by-step guides. But obviously when I start the next load, that'll come in. So yeah, just I'm going to finish off some of these, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm going to call it a night now because it's now come up for 11. So hopefully you've all enjoyed the video. I haven't done any painting at all. It always isn't necessarily a bad thing, but obviously let's have a look at my figure collection. Sorry, I've left you. I have, as it stands right now, I've got 167 models on order, including these little bad boys that have just arrived. I mean, there's 6, 18, 19, 20 models I've picked up today. Yes, I had 100, and I think I had 185 on order. So I've got 235. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I've got 235 figures actually in my possession, of which 19 are completed. 45 are in progress. 6 of them have assembled. 88 have been cut off the sprue. 25 are in the box but unsealed. 52 are sealed in the box, and then I've got a couple of little projects on the go. I've got one that one of these, for example, I've used the axe for another project, so the rest is just spare parts now. And I got 318 on my wish list. So that's an awful lot of painting I've got to do. So I really need to stop buying and start. I think that's why I put a big order in for Black Friday. You know, I can stop buying now. I've not been back in this hobby for a year, so I don't know when offers come around and what happens when. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm not, you know, unless other than new releases. If I do actually want to focus on the older models first. Things like Archeon, who's just been released, they're not going to get rid of him in the next 12 months. But whereas things like Chaos Marauders and Chaos Warriors, how long are they going to last? They've been around for a while, and obviously they've been overtaken by things like this. So I want to focus on some older models, but what I'm aiming to do is paint and not buy anything. I'd say I might get a few, but if I can make a big dent in this collection, and then next Black Friday next year, you know, if I save up my money, because obviously I'm getting about 20 to 30% off things, it means I can buy 30% more models. So I'll try not to buy any more until next Black Friday. And then once next Black Friday comes around, obviously I can get all the models again. I get new models. and I won't be suffering in the meantime. We don't know what's happening in the meantime now. So, right, with that, I'm going to toodle off. You guys have a nice night, morning, whatever it is time it is when you're reading this, watching this, and keep an eye out for my videos. Once a month, I say once a month, I'm going to do. I've got one of my videos playing about the other day, and I made this video up, just a collection of photos. So basically, what I'm going to do is every the end of every month, I'm just going to put all the photos together of what I've been painting, so like progress, and then I'll do individual videos, you know, stage by stage, and then once I finish the model, I'll then release a series of videos on painting stages. I've got my beginners on the go, and I've got some nice little budget videos to for you to look through. So with that, take care, guys. Talk to you another time. Goodbye.